welcome back to my channel, Stacio Designs. As you can see, I have a new toy that I'm playing with and created an avatar, so I hope you enjoy this. So here on my channel, we talk about all things sublimation, and today I am talking about troubleshooting the Sublimation DTF hack. So if you're having any issues with printing or roller marks or pressing, I'm going to go over all of these things so that we can all have success with this. Here is the DTF powder and film that I like to use. This is the Unwanted brand, and they're putting out this kit. It's all in one, ready to go. Here's the powder, and this is a package of their film. You need to make sure that you're printing on the correct side of the film. You can slightly see that one side is cloudy and the other side is very smooth. It also says it right on the packaging, so when you pull it out of the package, make a mental note of which is the print side. Try to avoid touching the print side of the film too much. You don't want to scratch the film's coating. See how here I can just scratch it and the coating comes right off. An issue that I see a lot of people having is they have a tough time of getting the film to pull through the printer. What is actually happening is that the film is so slick that the rollers can't really grab onto it. So I like to attach a piece of copy paper behind it and tape at the top with masking tape or painter's tape. This gives the rollers something to grasp onto to continue to have the paper or the film roll through the printer. And here I am just placing a piece of regular copy paper underneath the film, and I just tape it at the top. You can use masking tape or painter's tape or whatever you have. It's just something for the rollers to grab onto. I have found that this is also a resolve for those that get the one big column of the image to print right down the center. So at the beginning, I didn't use this taping method, and then I started using this, and that problem has been fixed. So this is a workaround for that too. Okay, let's talk about the print. Firstly, let's talk about what GIGO means. GIGO means garbage in, garbage out. If you're trying to print a file that's low resolution or an image that you needed to stretch to fit your artboard, you will get a poor result. So I suggest to either create your own images or look for high resolution images that you can download. I use websites such as Creative Fabrica. They have so many amazing designs that all come with commercial licenses. And if you're interested, there is a link down below. Okay, now that you have a great image to print, let's talk roller marks. This is a huge topic that everybody seems to have problems with. This is probably the #1 issue that I see on my Facebook groups of people complaining about with this hack. So here are a few ways to fix this. 1, you can clean the rollers with some alcohol on a cotton swab. This definitely helps, but it's not a permanent fix. So just take a little bit of alcohol on a cotton swab and wipe them across the rollers and roll them. Roll the rollers a little bit because the ink is on both sides. So this is a good fix, but it's not a permanent fix. 2, you can remove the rollers altogether. This is very scary. I haven't done it. If you have a separate printer just for DTF and then a separate one for sublimation, this might be a good option for you. But I use one printer for both, so I personally have not done this yet. Okay, tip #3, which is probably the most accessible for people, and this is the best fix that I've found for myself. We're just going to adjust some of the print settings. Just for reference, I have a converted Epson Workforce 7720. So let's go through these settings. I use Photoshop, but the settings have to do with your printer, not the software. So if you have an Epson, you should see these options as well. I have my image here in Photoshop as a 300 DPI image. I'm going to choose print, and I get my printer dialog box up. So let's go through these settings. I'm using my Workforce 7720, and I'm using portrait. Fine. So we go to our print settings. So I already have a preset done, so it's nice and easy to follow along. So you put your document size in here. So whatever size paper you're printing on, your portrait, fine. Paper type. I have had success with photo glossy. Quality, I'm sticking with high. And I personally like to do a print preview. Fine. So if we go into more options, this is where I've changed. So this color correction section, click on custom and advanced. It defaults to fixed photo, but click on color controls, change it to Adobe RGB 2.2. And normally in this section, I futz around with this a lot for DTF. But for this, I'm going to keep all of these at 0. Now this, and of course, check off high speed, which is also the same meaning as bidirectional printing. So if you've ever seen somebody say turn off bidirectional printing, that means high speed. And it's just like sublimation, you mirror your image. So now, this is the trick that I found. Go into your maintenance tab, click on extended settings. Here is your print density. So now it's telling the printer to decrease the density, which will lay down less ink, which means the rollers should not pick up. The ink should not be there for the rollers to pick up. I personally have had success with -20, but I've seen people do -5. I've seen people do -30. So this is something that you need to play around with and troubleshoot for your specific printer. And now, this is what fixed it for me. Click this, thick paper and envelopes. What this does is increase the space between your rollers and the paper. So instead of that paper being dragged through the rollers, there's more space. And this is actually, I believe, what is preventing the roller marks. And then it's just like regular. Hit OK and go ahead and print your image. And here it is. This is how it printed. No roller marks. And this looks good. So before I move on to the last technique, I just want to show you the amount of testing that I did to find these settings. So I really hope that you all enjoy this video. So the absolute surefire way that you will not get roller marks is removing each individual roller instead of the whole casing. You don't want to take out the rollers all the way on the left and the right, just the middle ones. And you just use a little tool and you can, it takes, oh, I pushed it downward. But it takes a little doing, but you can push it, you push it down and out the back. And there it goes. And there's the second one. As long as you don't take the outside rollers off, your sublimation paper will also go through. So you just push down. And then push it out. And this is what it looks like with the rollers removed. So I left some on the outside for the paper to catch, and I removed all the middle ones. So here it is right out of the printer, and it is looking good. I like to use Yamation's medium powder. I have medium and I have fine. I use the fine when I have super intricate details, and the medium for regular images like text or images with large blocks of color. The kit has medium powder in it. Okay, so let's talk safety. This stuff can be toxic. You do not want to breathe this in. I suggest using this product in a well-ventilated space. Use a mask and gloves. Also, don't leave the powder sitting around. It can get airborne. Either get it back into the bag or keep it in a sealed container. Those little particles can go airborne very, very easily. Okay, so let's talk about curing. Curing is the process where you melt the powder crystals to form a bond with the ink. Some say curing is not necessary, but I find it so much easier to use once it's cured. If you don't cure, it's very susceptible to smudging. There are a few different ways to cure your powder. You can hover it under your heat press and set your temp to about 280 degrees Fahrenheit and just hover the top plate in about a half an inch away for 3 to 4 minutes. Another option is to place it print side up on your easy press or even a griddle. I only have a little mini press, but it seems to do a pretty good job. There are some inconsistencies in some of the spots, but it does work. Just remember to keep it on low and constantly keep moving. My preferred method is using a heat gun and just go over it very slowly, constantly moving. Keep your heat gun temperature low, and eventually it'll start melting your powder and you can see it get glossy as you melt the powder crystals. Any way you choose to cure it, you want to see the white powder get glossy, but be sure not to overheat the image or the film. So just stop just when it starts to melt. Okay, so this should actually be the easy part. Each brand of DTF film has its own press time, so make sure you read the instructions. This Yamation brand recommends 266 to 302 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 seconds. Also, this brand recommends a cold peel. Some may be hot peels. So in this video, I'm actually using a 60-40 shirt. I let it cool completely, and I'm going to peel it off. And I like to give it a second press for about 10 seconds. And make sure you cover with parchment for your second press. I did make the mistake of covering with butcher paper, and there you go. You can see on the left, I peeled up some of the ink. So make sure you use parchment paper for your second press. I hope these techniques helped you, and please go enjoy. Keep subbing.